We walk back to the apartment in silence. It's obvious even to me that Ethan's really distracted by all the stuff going on. After stopping by Ethan's apartment so he can change out of his uniform, we go downstairs to mine. I get into the kitchen and start prepping ingredients for cooking. Meanwhile, Ethan takes up residence on the couch so he can study comfortably. Does he do anything other than study? I guess I've just never had anything to be that passionate about, so I don't understand his way of thinking at all. Anyway, since Ethan's more of a vegetable person, I'm making a dish using a spaghetti squash.
Ooh.
It's me. I'm making spaghetti squash for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
By the
Well,
way,
and that's-
Emily, remember when you gave us spaghetti squash?
Yes.
Well, my mom loved it so much that she's just like been on this spaghetti squash binge ever since then.
good.
Have you gotten tired of it?
No, it's
That's good.
continued to be good.
That's good.
Yeah, well, since you've given me the spaghetti squash recipe that you cooked that one time, we've gotten spaghetti squashes a couple times, and including the time that you gave us one, and I've cooked them, and it's one of the things I can actually cook, and they're good. Yeah, so...
And healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Spaghetti squash digression aside.
Spaghetti squash.
Hey, this is what humanizes us, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, long rants about spaghetti squash and how much we love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's baking right now, so I don't have as much to do. What all do you have to study for this exam anyway?
Well, just about everything. It covers math, literature, science, history, spaghetti squashes. And there's a part on communication skills, logic, and other things like that. Since I don't know what all I'll be teaching yet, this is just the basic test for becoming a teacher. There's other tests I can take later if I want to teach harder subjects.
Sounds pretty tough.
It's been probably 3 years since I've taken a math course too, so I'm trying to brush up on it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Not until I'm more prepared. So what is 5 plus 3?
Well, there's not much I can say to that, I guess. After about an hour, the squash is done baking, so I cook up the other ingredients to put on top. Once dinner's finished, I manage to pry Ethan away from his book so he can eat properly, and not spill all over his studying materials.
This is really good.
Look at his mouth open and ready for the food.
He's just like, oh my god, I've never had real food before.
Yes, he's amazed.
Of course it is. I'm not a chef for nothing, you know.
This is so much better than the sawdust I'm used to eating.
Oh no.
I buy it in bulk.
Jack don't get my food at Lowe's every day.
When I feel really fancy, I get bark chips.
Yeah, just put enough marinara sauce on it and you can down it, okay?
Pierre, have you...
Okay, wait. I've been putting up with it till now, but are you guys going to call me Pierre even in private? Really?
Oh, I wondered if that was their real names. Does it bother you?
Obviously, it's not my name.
Well, the producer said we should call you Pierre all the time so we could get used to it. You're the only one who had to change your name. And after a year of it, I guess it just stuck.
My fake name just stuck? How long have you known me before this? Like 10 years?
All right. If it bothers you that much, I'll stop calling you Pierre. What was your real name again?
Ethan!
No, that's mine. Hey, my name's Ethan. This is why Liam's always doing this, you know. Your reactions are interesting. Anyway, I'm just being facetious. I know your name, Josh.
Thank you. I was starting to worry for a second there. Man, why do you and Liam have to always... I trail off, grumbling.
Aw, I wouldn't forget your name. Don't sulk.
I'm not sulking.
He's sulking.
So I guess there's a parallel world, but they like speak English and they have English language names. Wait.
Well, I mean, if it's all kind of based off of Earth, like it's all different
Yeah.
parts of Earth with the emotions, maybe it's like alternate reality United States.
Yeah, I don't know how the lore works exactly. Anyway, this squash really is good. What did you say it was called?
Spaghetti squash. Because after you bake it, the inside of it comes apart like noodles.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Have you thought about actually doing this for a living?
What, cooking?
Yeah, you have a real knack for it. We tell you this all the time.
I don't know. I've been doing this acting thing for so long, it's hard to imagine doing something else.
You like cooking, don't you? You actually like working at the restaurant more than acting as Pierre.
He's right. He's right, but I'm just a regular Joe off the street. I didn't go to college, I don't really have anything special. I play a chef, but it's not like I make any dishes that would pass for being chef-like.
You've never thought about it?
I have, but I can't imagine it. I like making omelets and baking squash and stuff. That doesn't make me chef material.
How do you know that unless you try? That sounds like what chefs do, is baking stuff.
Eh.
Why don't we look into it? I mean, it sounds like a possible thingy that would fit our interests and talents, right?
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but actors don't always get to act for their whole careers. Like, especially women.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
start looking too old. But anyway, it's just like, it's good to have other talents too.
You have a wrinkle. No more acting for you. Yeah.
I think we should go with maybe I'll look into it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sigh loudly. Like I've said before, Ethan can be pretty stubborn. And he's not wrong. I have thought about it. Maybe I'm just being a coward about it. I think back to my character and how he was too afraid to stand up to his parents, so he kept running away. Am I just doing the same thing? And did I just compare myself to that airheaded character of mine? Jeez. Okay, you win. Ethan practically lights up when I say this.
Eee.
Maybe I'll look into culinary schools. Not until after all this work is done, though. I don't like doing things halfway. That's why I've never tried being a chef before.
It's not like we'll be doing this game for much longer anyway.
Ethan, you keep talking about me, but what about you? If you keep studying at work like this, your work is going to be shoddy. Remember what happened earlier?
That was just one time.
No, you were distracted the whole day. Come on, don't make excuses.
It's only gonna be for 2 weeks.
So he's prioritizing his studies over his work. What if he gets fired? I guess this shows on my face because Ethan laughs.
Woo!
Whoa. Whoa.
That was a lot.
Whoa.
I think we need to calm that down.
That was a little
Manic?
scary.
Okay, I'll try a calmer laugh. Ha. Ha.
That seems to
Ha.
fit in more with Ethan.
Sad.
Don't worry, it'll be fun.
The way he says it sounds like he's said the last word on the subject. And I think being a teacher might really suit him after all. He changes the subject and we finish eating dinner together. Even though he said that he'd be fine, Ethan just starts overworking himself more. Since I yelled at him for it, he doesn't actually study during work hours. He always looks tired when he shows up for work now, though, so it's pretty obvious that he's staying up all night to study. During our lunch break one day, I finish my work and find Ethan sitting at a table studying instead of eating. What else is new? His head's bobbing up and down, though, like he's about to fall asleep. I tap him on the shoulder as I sit down next to him.
Oh, Josh.
You okay?
Yeah, just a little tired. I was up sort of late last night.
Sounds like Ben when he's tired.
What is Ben?
I'm doing my tired. Actually, I'm not even sure I can completely do my tired voice without being that tired because my vocal cords get deeper. I don't know how to simulate it.
Huh, really? I couldn't tell. He manages a weak smile. Weird. He looks tired, but there's more to it than that. Ethan looks really weak somehow.
No, is he sick?
You really should take better care of yourself. Have you eaten yet?
Whoa.
Last time I ate was that spaghetti squash you served.
Oh no!
So that's a no. Okay, be right back.
Is this paralleling the prologue story? Wait.
Ignoring his protests, I get up and grab Ethan some soup from the kitchen. It's nothing fancy, but it's best to get something he can eat fast. I wonder if he even ate dinner last night.
No!
It's probably not.
I quicken my pace and slide the bowl of soup in front of him.
You really worry too much.
When did I ever worry about you before this? If you don't want me to worry, don't do stuff like this.
True. You've never paid much attention to me before.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that in a bad way. More like, you let me make my own decisions. From middle school to now. You, Liam, and I have been friends, but we're all pretty independent. So, when they're talking about time frames, like when they're saying like they've known each other for 10 years, is that like Earth years or their world years? Because
I don't
That'd
know.
be like 40-hour years, right?
yeah, I think was it a 1 to 3 or maybe it was 1 to 4? I don't remember. And they can't be that old, so
They might also age differently, who knows?
oh yeah, maybe the time flows faster on the one world than the other.
Well, he's got a point there. When I decided not to go to college, Ethan and Liam didn't challenge me. When Liam dropped out of college to start modeling and acting, we didn't say anything to him. If Ethan wants to study, I should just let him do it. It's his life. It's not that I don't want you to study. I think it's great you want to be a teacher or whatever. I just think your priorities are off.
You should eat, Ethan.
How so? I mean, I really was looking forward to being a whatever.
Well, if you don't eat, you won't have enough energy to study, right? And if you're distracted during work because of studying, you'll get fired and won't have money for your exam and classes and stuff. So, what's the point?
You really worry too much. I'll be fine.
He's in too deep.
You keep saying that, but I'm not sure you know what fine means. You're just proving my point. Just then, one of the station chefs comes out and says I'm needed back in the kitchen.
Go ahead. I'll eat the soup. I promise.
You
He
better.
just falls asleep on in the soup.
I put my hand on Ethan's shoulder, trying to act reassuring. Seriously, be careful. There's no point in studying so hard if it makes you sick.
Okay, I'll be careful.
I walk back to the kitchen, but something's bothering me. Is it just me, or was his body a little warm?
He is sick, no.
It's paralleling the other story.
Dun dun dun!
Now, I really hope it doesn't turn out that this is like also a twist, and they've been like, oh, let's also turn this part into a love generation simulator, because I'm gonna flip a table.
I mean, you might have to flip a table. I was kind of getting the same feeling.
It's the end of the day, and we're all getting ready to leave work. I'm doing inventory in the back when I see Laura with her bag walking towards the front. Hey, you going home already?
Yeah, I'm babysitting tonight.
It is Laura! You don't have to clean up?
Nope, it's Ethan's turn today. Anyway, I'm really in a hurry, so I'll see you later.
Oh, okay. Later, Laura. She leaves, and I finish up the inventory. No mistakes this time. I then get my stuff together and head for the main room. As soon as I walk in, I notice Ethan on the ground. What happened? Ethan!
He's dead.
He's standing up. He's sleeping. That's how they do it on their work.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm okay. What happened?
You tell me. I just found you passed out over here. Suddenly, something dawns on me, and I hold the back of my hand against Ethan's forehead. He's burning up. So when I thought he was a little warm earlier, it wasn't just my imagination. Ethan, you've got a fever.
Well, I can't be sick. The exam is...
Ethan tries to bolt upright, but is hit by a dizzy spell and slowly lays back down.
Wait, that should be lies.
Ooh, getting into those word crimes.
No. I'm just a little tired.
You're obviously not just a little tired. You can't even stand up right now. You knew, didn't you? There's no way you can be sick all day and not feel something. I thought there was something weird about you today. Why didn't you say anything?
I was too sleepy to speak. I didn't want you to worry about me. Someone like me.
You're such a troublesome guy.
Huh?
Before he can say anything, I help him so that he's sitting upright.
Oh, what are you doing?
Hold on to my neck. I'm going to stand up.
You're going to carry me? I can't possibly.
Just do it. Or do you think you were going to be stumbling back to the apartment complex on your own?
But
If you think it's embarrassing, then get better and don't push yourself like this again.
all right.
He wraps his arms around my neck, and then I stand up and walk out of the restaurant. We bump into Angelina just as we're a few steps from the door. She takes just one look at us before smiling.
Go ahead. I'll finish up things here.
I appreciate it. Ethan's not as heavy as I thought he would be. We walk all the way back to the apartment complex without a hitch, though people on the streets kind of look at us funny.
Did you really have to go this far?
I could say the same for you. By the way, this is incredibly embarrassing for me too, you know.
That was the most terrifying laugh ever.
I love it.
Recorded for all of humanity.
That's your legacy, Ben.
That's what you'll be remembered for.
I would like
Disconcerting
another
laughs.
legacy.
No, you can't. That's your only one.
Yeah, that was your only one, Ben.
I want to change it in for another one.
The sound waves of that laugh will be carved on the epitaph of your tombstone. That's your legacy.
Yeah, well, little do you know, this is actually all that's going to survive of humanity.
Oh no!
5 billion years from now, aliens are going to show up, and that'll be the only trace left that our species ever existed.
Yeah, and then they'll nope out of there. 'Cause they'll be like, no thank you.
They're gonna be like, humanity's terrible. Oh.
I take him to my place since I don't trust him to take care of himself alone. I make sure that he's comfortable and takes some fever relief takes some fever reliever meds.
Fever reliever. That's kind of funny.
That was a tongue twister.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I've never heard them called that before.
No!
Just like some cold medicine or something.
Yeah!
That
Excuse
should
me,
do.
but I would like to get some fever reliever meds.
It sounds like it would be like a really annoying ad.
Fever reliever.
Are you having a fever? Would you
Are
like
you
it to be
sick?
relieved?
Would you
Do you
like
need
to not
meds?
die?
If you want meds to relieve your fever, get fever reliever meds.
Reliever! I'm a believer after using fever reliever.
Oh no!
So head to get your med.
That should do it. I'm going to make soup for dinner since it's probably better for you not to eat anything heavy.
I'm not hungry.
Yes, you
I-
are. You're sick.
I've already eaten this week.
Remember what I said
Oh.
earlier about energy? Just eat. Are you trying to insult my cooking?
Do you at least bring me my books? I'll give you the key to my apartment.
That idiot. Is he still planning on studying when he's in this condition?
They know.
Yeah. Not the second one.
Not the second one, just the first one.
Heck no, you are going to lie here and sleep until I'm done cooking. Then you're going to eat and go back to sleep.
The exam's in 2 days.
Fine,
2
Ethan.
days.
Yeah, and what if you're sick even on exam day?
Panicked ellipsis.
Seriously, just rest. Get some sleep.
You really are willful.
Yeah. You'll thank me for it later.
Grumble ellipsis.
I guess he fell asleep. That was fast. I think he was a lot more tired than he was letting on. If he was this bad off, why'd he even show up to work? Is he really that oblivious? When he's this sick and tired and stressed, why can't he talk to me about it? Aren't we friends? I feel like I only find out about things when it's too late. Maybe I'm the only one who ever considered us friends.
Oh.
Man, it's not like me to be so negative. Who cares about the past? I can do something for Ethan right now. I can cook this darn soup and make sure he recovers okay. I don't understand why this exam is so important to him. Well, beyond the obvious reasons. But if he values it this much, I could at least try to make sure he's in decent condition when he takes it. I guess I'm being pretty nosy. Sure as heck wouldn't like it if someone forced me to do this and that, but this guy's no good alone.
He was eating sawdust before you
I
came
know.
around.
Hey, and bark chips.
That's your like fancy dinner nights, though.
Well,
Yeah.
It's not all the time.
Yeah, he just like goes outside to those like you see those like scraggly trees by the cars over there. He just like
Ew.
scrapes it off. He just like gnaws on them like
Can we please choose just one character in this to randomly eat like the tires of cars? I just
Hey,
think that would be a
what?
great character detail.
Why?
If we're in this weird, like, eating things that aren't really food, I think someone should be established to be, like, very big on eating tires. That would
I
just be
think
really
that's-
fun.
I think that's also Ethan. It's just his dessert.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
I was trying to spread out the bad food so that like it would be more fair, but now you've just concentrated it.
No, he's the only one in this universe who does things like that.
Oh, okay.
I try to get him to stay with me so I can take care of him, but Ethan refuses and goes back to his own apartment to recover. I'm sure he'll spend too much time studying instead of resting, but at this point, I can't do anything. After that, I don't hear from Ethan for a while. He takes 2 days off work as sick days, and then I guess he takes his exam right after that. Even though he lives just a floor above me, I don't know what he's up to or how he's doing. Even after the exam's over, he takes days off from work, a couple of days in a row. I've never known Ethan to miss this much work before. Was he that sick?
Is he
Well, considering
dead?
his diet...
After about a week, he finally shows up to work again on a day where we're having practice with the producers, but there's this dark aura about him somehow. Without him even saying anything, it's obvious. He must not have done well in his exam. Nothing
Wait, did
else.
he get the results that quickly?
I don't know. Sometimes
he might have
can
just been able to.
tell, like,
Could
when
have
you're
been
taking
a
a
Scantron
test.
too. If it was like a standardized test, it could have been a Scantron.
Yeah, or I mean, it could have just been he was, working on the test and he could see like, I don't know what I'm doing. I answered this question's dumb. I didn't finish everything in time.
I didn't know what 2 + 2 was.
I just wrote smiley face for every answer and hope it worked.
Including my name and the date.
Oh,
No.
I even baked the professor a fresh loaf of tires too.
Oh.
loaf of stew? How badly did he bake this?
Very badly.
Nobody explained why the stew was in a loaf.
It was just like liquidy and bubbling.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
I guess the teacher didn't like the tire stew very much.
I should have added more sugar.
Oh.
That would have made it okay.
Nothing else would put him in such a bad mood. And now I'm afraid to ask him about it. Ethan doesn't volunteer the information, and his mood seems so bleak. Can't I do something? Isn't there anything I can do other than watch him from the sidelines and worry about how he's doing?
All you can do is watch.
Yep. Just stare at him for a few hours.
You could get closer and continue staring. You could stare from like 6 inches away from his face. That might work.
If I try to help him and he just ignores me or gets annoyed with me, there's only so many times I can do it. We just can't see eye to eye somehow. Ethan doesn't understand why I worry about him so much. Heck, even I don't understand why I worry about him so much.
Because you're the protagonist.
Because you're doing his route.
Do we love him, guys? Are we deciding this?
I think we love him.
Yeah.
Do we?
I really care about him. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why would we go halfsies on this?
We have committed to this strange, object-eating man. We cannot back out. It's too late.
We have to feed him real food.
Yeah.
We're trying to save him, which is never something you should actually do in a relationship, but I think the purpose of this walkthrough, we're trying to save him from his own eating issues.
And, have a cute boyfriend.
And have a cute boyfriend who sometimes, eats the tires off your car, or just the mulch around your plants.
We'll never,
Ethan, again? I had to get to work today.
I'm sorry, but you have to make sacrifices for love sometimes. We have to compromise if we want this relationship to work.
Yeah, and I told you can eat the spare tires, but not the ones already on the car, please.
They only taste good if they're already on the car.
Yeah, that's when they pick up all the winter and stuff on the ground.
Oh.
It got worse.
And
He does not want those-
Why
he does
did
not
we
want those
choose this?
factory mint tires. He needs them run down a little bit.
They were salty this time because the people had just salted the roads for winter.
Oh no, roadkill.
Ew. Oh no. Okay, we need to cook him like proper food, please.
We need to save him from himself.
Why did we choose this character trait for this person?
I don't know why.
I don't think we chose it, it just happened.
It just
It
happened.
chose itself.
It just elevated ever since we went with sawdust and it got
Just got
worse from
worse.
there.